Hello my friends, it's the Game Boy Geek here, and today we find ourselves hidden somewhere along the tropical coastline where you'll find a charming little beach town called Twin Palms. Here you'll see dolphins jumping, lovers holding hands, and children playing in the sand, always in pairs. Twin Palms is a beautifully beach-themed escape from your traditional trick-taking game. It's for 2 to 5 players. It takes 30 to 60 minutes to play, and for ages 10 and up, and published by Bink Inc. Now it's on Kickstarter right now, so I'm going to show you how it works, and I'll see you on the other side. Twin Palms lasts a specific amount of rounds depending on the amount of players, and it's tracked by this cute little stingray. For example, in a 3-player game that we're going to show you today, it would end at the end of the 6th round. The object of the game is to have the most sand dollars at the end. And each player will actually start with 2 single sand dollars. Now there's 4 modes of play in this game: easy, normal, advanced, and extreme. I'm going to start with normal and show you how that works first. Now in this normal version, there are 2 suits. There's palms and there's dolphins. And they range from 0 to 10 in numbers, but there's also a wild that could be any number. There's actually 2 cards of each number in each of the suits. At the beginning of each round, each player is dealt 10 cards. These cards will be secret in their hand, but I have them splayed out just so you can see you get 10 cards. And once you've had a chance to see your cards, you're going to secretly select one of your bid cards. Now these are all colored blue because they're all just for me, I'm the blue player. And you'll try to predict how many tricks you're going to win. Everywhere from 0 all the way to 5. And you'll win a different amount of sand dollars depending on how many you've bid and if you've got your bid. For example, if you bid that you're going to win just 1 trick, and you do win it, and you win it exactly 1 trick, you're going to get 3 sand dollars. Where if you bid 4 tricks and you get them all, you get 10. Or you're going to get 7 if you exactly bid 3. In all cases, if you don't win your bid exactly, you'll get 1 per trick. So if I bid 3, again, I'd get 7 if I exactly got my 3, but if I didn't get 3, let's say I got 2, I would get 2 sand dollars, 1 for each trick. Or maybe I got 4 tricks instead of 3. Well, I would get 4 sand dollars, which obviously is still less than the 7 you'd get for being exact. And of course, otherwise, with 0, you'd get 5 if you're exact, and of course, otherwise you'd get nothing. That's a little bit different bidding 0, for example. So each player is going to secretly select one of those cards and place it in front of them. Now once everybody's selected their bid secretly, then everybody flips it up so everyone knows how many tricks each player is trying to win. Then, starting with the start player who has the shark token, they're going to lead a trick. When you play a trick, you always play 2 cards together. Now this game is unlike any other trick-taking game because even though there's suits, you don't have to follow a suit. There's no trump suit. You have total flexibility in what you want to play. We just played a pair of 9s. Now we look at this here. We're playing the normal version. Pairs are always better than no pairs. And Twin Palms, which is a pair of palms, the name of the game, is the best. So a pair of palms is the best, and I have a 9. Remember, they only go up to 10. So this is one of the strongest, hands in the game, really. And you work your way down here. So even if the next player played a pair of dolphins with the 10, which is the highest number, and a wild, and they say, I have 2 10s. I have 2 10 dolphins. They have twin dolphins, and now it's 10. It's higher than this, but because a pair of palms beats a pair of dolphins, well, the pair of 9s is going to beat the pair of 10s because it's a better suit. So obviously someone would not throw this normally. I'm just kind of showing you this is how the hierarchy works. And let's say a third player just played this. It's not a pair, and it's mixed between dolphin and palms. It's not a pair, it's mixed. This is the worst type of thing that you could play because they clearly saw that somebody else was going to win that one. So they sort of just dumped some cards there. So at the end of this, whoever won the trick would, they'd collect the cards, and the person that won the trick would start a new trick. So let's say this is player led with a pair of 7s, but they're off suit. You have a mixed pair. This is one I haven't shown you yet. Again, it's a pair, but it's off suit. Now, if the next player played this, they have palms. That's not a pair. And even though this 8 is greater than these 7s, it's lower than the mixed pair, so it's not going to win. This one's still in the lead. And if this last player played dolphins no pair, again, even though the 8's bigger than 7, this one still wins because it is the highest level in this hierarchy here. Now, these wouldn't be very smart plays from these players normally, but I'm kind of showing you how it works in the different hierarchy of how things sort of go together. But let's say it looked like this. This player played the mixed pair of sevens, so did this player. Remember, there's 2 of each card, so this is possible. If players tied for the lead, they actually cancel each other out, and the next best hand wins, which in this case is a terrible hand. It's a mixed, and it's a 0-1, but this one's gonna win the trick because these 2 cancel each other out. Now, everyone's getting dealt 10 cards, but there's only 5 tricks because you're playing 2 cards per trick. So after you're done, after all the tricks are done, you'll see how you did. We bid 3, we got our 3. So again, we would get 7 here. We'd add this to the total of the sand dollars that we've had up into this game, but for this round, we'd get 7. Again, if we had just gotten 2 of these, instead, we would just get 1 per trick because we didn't exactly get 3, so we would have gotten 2. You then shuffle all the cards up and you deal out another 10 to everyone. Then you'd pass the shark token to the next player. They're gonna be the first player of the next round, and you'll move this to the next round. Now, so far, I've only been showing you bidding, and that's the recommended way to play normal mode if it's your first time playing the game. However, once you're experienced with it, or if you're experienced trick takers, even after the first few rounds, you can start adding in the betting. That's typically what I do. If I teach somebody new, I'll play the first couple rounds with just the bidding, and then I'll incorporate the betting in even in the first game, or you can just leave it out altogether if it's your first time playing. So in addition to your bid cards, now you're going to secretly select one of these bet cards. And this is going to be a certain amount depending on which one you select. And again, this is going to be secret at first. So the bet max, this says you're going to bet a certain amount of sand dollars equal to the round number. So for example, let's just say it was round number 4. And let's say we all secretly put our cards down, our bid and our bet, then once everyone has them both down, we flip them up like this, and let's say I'm doing a max bet in round 4. I'm betting 4 because it's round 4 and I did a max bet. I'll put 4 of those sand dollars on this nice little umbrella here, showing me that that's what I am betting. Now, and here is, again, I'm trying to get 2 tricks. If I get 2 exactly, I'll get 5. And if I make my 5 exactly, I'm also going to essentially double this bet. I'll get this back, but I'll also get an equal amount as well, so I'll get an additional 4. But if I don't make this, then I will lose this. So you're betting, and again, depending on the round number, how much you're gonna win or lose. Now, if you did a half bet, you're basically betting half the round number, rounded down. So it's in round 4, it would just be 2 there. And if you don't want to bet, you just have a 0 bet, you don't put anything. This is mostly just for bluffing, so you'll always have a card out there. People just won't know what it's going to be. And typically what happens is players that are behind in scoring tend to be a little bit more advantageous and try to gamble a little bit more. And players that are in the lead try to maybe bet a little bit less. So it's a way for people to really catch back up if they're down quite a bit. But it also ups the ante, if you will, and makes the game even more tense. So far I've shown you normal mode without the betting and the normal mode with the betting. There's also an easy mode. You can make it even easier, which is you just use palms. You don't use the dolphins. And here it's just, pairs are the best, no pairs are second. And so that's a way to really get someone into trick taking that hasn't even played trick taking before. Play the easy mode without the betting, and you really get to teach someone trick taking at a low level, but it's still fun. You can then introduce betting to easy and then work their way up to normal. You can also play in advanced mode, and in this mode it adds a 3rd suit, sunglasses. And there's still the same amount of cards, from 0s to 10s, 2 cards each and 2 wilds. But now the hierarchy changes, where sunglasses, a pair, is just lower than dolphins, but it's better than any mixed. And mixed is any 2 cards that don't match suit. And then the no pairs, again, goes palms, dolphins, then sunglasses, and then mixed, again, and mixed is any 2 different suits. So now you've got 3 suits to think about and a lot more ways to sort of think about what you should do, what should you bid, and what you should bet. There's also an extreme mode, and there's even more hierarchies here because we still have twin palms and dolphins and sunglasses, but now when it comes to mixed, instead of just having it be one level of hierarchy with any 2 different suits, now the mixed change depending on the 2 suits. Like the best mixed is dolphins and palms, but the next one is palms and sunglasses. Then it goes dolphins and sunglasses. So there's a different, that takes that single mix from the advanced and splits it up into 3, and it does that both for pair and no pair. So you really have to think about how to split up your hands, because having the flexibility of choosing any 2 cards, not having to follow suit, no trump suit, is what makes this game special, but having this really makes it extra thinky. Well, there you have twin palms, and as I showed in the overview, it's a trick-taking game that grants total freedom. No following suit, no trump, but only the cleverest players will hit their bids to earn points. And it is basically the trick-taking game for everybody because you can ratchet up or down the difficulty. Now if you'd like to see the final art and components and all the different pledge levels available, you can click the link below me right in the description of this video. And that's going to take you right to the Kickstarter project page, and I'm sure that Bank Inc. would love your support.